Hello, everybody. What is going on? You know, I got to verify the sound real quick. Give me a half a second, and we'll start the regular stuff. I hope y'all are enjoying y'all's day. I took a nap, and I'm still halfway asleep. So, oh, my other screen is behind. All right, so sounds good. Hey, folks, I hope y'all are doing well. AJay the CEO, thank you so much for joining. Really appreciate it. We have our afternoon edition of the Q&A. My little one, dentist appointment went very well, so yay. What else we got going on? Thank y'all so much for joining. I really appreciate it. Let me get my stuff over here set up. Let's holler at everybody that is here. And my screen is in the way. Hold on 1 second. There we go. Slide that right out the way. Josh, what is up? Who else we got on here? Brayson, hello. Streets of Destiny, hello. Creative for Fun, hello. Jack Wolf, hello. Dylan, hello. Francisco, Aaron, Jaden Fuller, I think that's new. Hey, how you doing? Words Media, Travel, UV Grapher Studios, hello. Joe, hello. Parker, hello. Otis, what's going on? Hey, everybody, thank y'all so much for joining. And we pushed this a little bit later than we normally did because of the stuff that was going on. But hey, thank y'all so much for joining. This thing, what am I missing? I know it's something I'm missing. Hey, if I can't get to your question, make sure you hit me up at questions@ajayhomes.com. I will do my best to get back with you. Give me 48 to 72 hours to loop back with you. What else we got? We have our roundtable coming up this Sunday. So if you're not, make sure you join the Facebook group. It's Q&A like every day. Also, we have an interest meeting for our e-missionary conference that we are planning. That is tomorrow. The information to join that is in the Facebook group. So we are having an interest meeting for people who want to teach as well as moderators, and we're trying to put the logistics together so that way we have a date and time so we can start putting that stuff out so that y'all know about everything. Make sure also, please, if y'all would go ahead and hit that like button, make sure you have the subscribe button as well and have the bells. That way you get notified when we come out with other videos, because YouTube likes it when you hit the like, because it lets people know and pushes this video out to more people. So what else we got? What else am I missing? Oh, hey, folks, guess what? We just hit 38,000 subscribers. Thank you so much. And I don't have my phone on mute. Let me mute that here. I'm trying to troubleshoot. One client got a computer that we got, and then a monitor is not coming on, so might have to make a trip for that. Where was I at? I forgot. I talked about that. Oh, yeah, we hit 38,000 subscribers. Thank you so much. We hit that on April 20th, and April 20th last year is when we hit 10,000. So excellent growth. Really appreciate it. Like I said, we are skipping a 40,000 subscriber giveaway because we have a 50,000 subscriber giveaway. This the link that you can get to it, grow.ajayhomes.com, 50K giveaway. You only got to enter once. If you are a YouTube member or a Patreon supporter, you are automatically entered twice as a thank you. Twice the chances. You can always get other people in your ministry to register. All you got to do is be a member, be a subscriber, have bell notification turned on, and then also enter into the giveaway. That's it. That is sponsored by PTZ Optics. Really appreciate the fact that they're doing that. What else we got? What else? I think that's it. Man. Sorry, I ain't getting this. My messages going on. How's everybody doing? Did everybody get a chance to check out our episode 2 of AJay Interviews with Stephanie? I thought that was a very great discussion that we had going on. Sorry, I gotta your time to come to the church. I hope y'all got a chance to check that out. I'm actually looking at having more interviews like that to where we have more discussions talking about media and the role of online ministry, technology, all that other fun, good stuff. So I think I've blabbed enough here. Let's see if let's jump to our first question. And I'm sure I got some other stuff that I may have forgot, but we'll figure it out. So again, thank y'all so much for stopping by. Really appreciate it. And I'm looking for some questions here. I'm thinking about doing another live stream later today. I'm kind of out of it. It's going to be late. Or it's going to be, I was thinking about doing it tomorrow. But I want to do a live stream. I've already finished our virtual choir, but I haven't shown anybody yet because we're not playing that until Sunday. So I'm going to do a behind the scenes of redoing the entire thing from scratch and do a live stream to show everybody. I am working on that. So either that's going to be later today or Sunday. Well, we can't do a Sunday afternoon because we have a round table. I don't know. Might do it Monday or something, but we'll do something. Let's see. Let's get to our questions here. Samuel Harris. Hey, AJ, what's the reasoning for running subs through your video switcher when you have a digital board? Oh, wait a minute. You had another comment. Sound. What is the reasoning for running sound through your video switcher when you have a digital board? Well, it all depends because you want to put all the weight and the processing and the syncing up on your mixer if you got it. If you got a digital board and it really doesn't matter. It all depends on the horsepower that you got. Like right now, I'm running my mixer and my sound is going to the ATEM, but you're not hearing it. You're hearing it being married up on my computer because I know my computer's fast enough to do it. That's just how I do it. It all depends. Let's jump over here to Robert. And I'm trying to get out of the way on how I have the comments and everything set up so I can see it and y'all can see it and I'm not in the way. Can you tell me what's the best system to use for local video distribution, Matrix, Switch, or Video Switcher? Well, a Video Switcher necessarily doesn't handle your distribution. Most of the time, at least with the switches I have, it only has one output, maybe two, and you always have to split it anyway. It all depends. Like what type of, first off, what type of cable are you sending your video to? And, well, let me just jump back. Can we pull out the draw IO? Let's try that. And let's jump over here to our super source. Where's my super source? Now, it all depends on the type of distribution you want to do. How I like to do mine, honestly, I like SDI, but again, it could be problematic because you're adding an increased price because you have to convert it at the end. Realize that unless you get some HDMI fiber cable, HDMI can really only go like 20, 25 feet without the signal being degraded. That's why I always convert it over. So for me, let's take this and let's do a my mouse went over to my other system. I don't want to hit the wrong button. Let me turn that off so that I don't make a mistake and go over to the wrong screen. There we go. All right, so we got here, and we'll just say this is our switcher or our source, whatever you want to call it. Excuse me. This is our source, our camera. So, it all depends on how you want to do it. Like I do this, I send my stuff into my switcher, do whatever. And then out of here, you normally have some type of output. I use like at my church, this comes out from SDI, and then I have a SDI splitter. I mean, you can do the same thing, have an HDMI splitter. You can do them both at the same time if it's supported. But like I said, you have to make sure that you're close in whatever distance that you're using. I mean, we've also used you can get an HD base T splitter. And either way you do it, I mean, that would be HDMI that can work on all of these. If your splitter, I mean, your source, your switch, or whatever supports it, no, you don't need one. Because if you only have one output, like originally, we just had one output. HDMI went into our projectors because there was already a distribution set up when they built the church. And then the SDI out was going directly to our computer. Once we expanded, we needed something else. Those TVs were further away, so that's why we split the SDI and went. It doesn't really matter which direction you decide to go. Just realize that every time you add a device in between, you're adding processing time, which can increase the latency in it. So you got to be mindful of that. And then some of these inherently have latency built in. I know Ori is sending me a HDMI splitter that is going to be installed at a project that we're getting ready to do. And they said it's pretty much very low latency so that it would act just like any of these. It all depends. So I don't want to say which one is better. Me personally, I like SDI just because it can, the quality and cabling of what it can handle, what signal and what resolution it can handle. And then it's, unless there's a rat or something there that bites through the cable, it just works. HDMI works as well too, but you gotta be careful on that distance, as well as it may be prone to magnetic interference. It all depends on where you place it. So maybe I answered a little bit more than you needed for that, but Lanny here. And I really need to move this mic, maybe position on a different spot on my desk. Can you talk about smart switches and how you remote in? Well, smart switches, it all depends. I use the TP-Link ones. Wait a minute. Talk about remote switches and how you remote in. Are you talking about the smart switches like as in electrical, or smart switches as in network switches? Let me know that, and then I will jump back to your question. Francisco, thank you so much. Yeah, I want to do some more stuff like that because I want to open it up, give other people a platform to talk about their perspective on media ministry, as well as how it impacts. Because I can sit here and tell all day long, I mean, which I do, the importance of it. But the more and more of a bigger platform, I like to bring other people in to where we're hearing from their perspective. You know, there are people that have churches with over 15,000 people. There are other people that have churches with 5 people, and they're still just as impactful. It's kind of an excuse remover. So when people think, oh, we only have this many people in our ministry, that's why we don't need to live stream. That's not important, and that's not relevant. You can have a small footprint, and your message is still powerful. Because do you want to be selfish and keep that message just to your 5, or do you want to be able to share it with the world? Because that's really what we're all about. That's just my opinion. JHB, I'm interested in a workhorse laptop primarily for DaVinci editing, photo editing, and live streaming. Any suggestions? Budget probably $1,000 to $1,500. Honestly, the Acer laptop that I have, the Nitro 5, is an excellent system. It can go up to 32 gigs of memory. I can add an NVMe drive, a bigger one, as well as another drive in there. And it has dual graphics cards. So from an editing standpoint, it's a beast. That's what I'm taking with me when I go to NAB after I add those extra components. I don't know of anything off the top of my head that can... any brand off the top of my head, honestly, call me an AMD fanboy, don't really care. It's just you get performance out of their recent processors. I would look at something that a Ryzen 5, a Ryzen 7, and then especially if you can get one that has the dual GPUs, an NVIDIA and a AMD, and then from when you're coming from editing, like right now, my system that I'm on right now has 32 gigs. I'm looking at pushing it to 64 and higher. I think that would be great. Let me see if I can tag the one. I've been meaning to do a review on that, to be quite honest. I just haven't. Nitro 5 Ryzen laptop. And let me see. And it was a fairly decent price. It was like from mine base without making those changes, or around like $750, $800. So adding all the rest of those parts, you're still going to be significantly less than that budget. You'll be right at $1,000. So I'm going to include that here in the chat. And that's Acer Nitro 5. And then they'll give you a link to the other ones that are based off of that as well too. So hopefully that helps you. Josh was saying, was a great interview, but I think we might need some moderators in chat going forward. Hey, I'm working at that as well too, because like I said, I am open. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion, but I do not tolerate nonsense, stuff like that. Because like I said, I jokingly say that, but this is what I mean. When I don't care about if you sprinkle, dip, or dunk, it does not matter. So we do have some people that believe this, believe that, and you're entitled to that. I don't want to get into the comment that was said scripturally. I know there are parts that disagree with that, but I don't want to get into that. So that's why I left it alone. Thank you so much. I really, Mike, yes, I did start a little bit early. Started about 5 minutes, but that way, honestly, my daughter's with her mom, so I really don't have nothing tying me down right now, so we can actually go a little bit longer. So my apologies for starting a little bit early. Robert was saying here, did I miss your first comment? If I asked that question correctly, still learning AV. Hold on, let me go back. Did I miss? Oh, no, Robert, you're fine. Yeah, that's fine. Your switcher is kind of like what I have right now, where we're jumping between different sources. So if I go through the sources, so my switcher is going here to my computer. Then we got our other camera that's right there. Then we got our overhead. And why are all my settings showing on the camera? That's not right. All right, so I guess I'm going to have to go revisit what's going on with my camera. It shouldn't be outputting that. That was strange. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, because it's in mode. Hold on. Oh, I got it now. I had it in photo mode. That's why it was showing like that. So, yay, problem averted. But that's fine. Let me see. Let's jump back. Did I miss anything? No, that's page 2. Really appreciate the kind words, folks. Thank you. All right, let's jump back here. All right, Francisco. What video camera for streaming would you recommend that is below 400? If it's not about the lighting, I'm still saying right now the Canon R800 is still good. It's just an issue with their lighting. You can get that for around $250. You can still get the Panasonic if you get it on a deal. I'm about ready to stop recommending the Panasonic V770 because it's still available, but the Wi-Fi control that you can control from your phone or a tablet, that link does not work on Panasonic's site anymore, and they have not updated it. But if you're not using that, it's still a great camera. I just want to give you a heads up on that. Jay McKenzie wants to know, how did I put this chat box on here? That is all because of vMix. So, oh, and I turned this off so y'all can't see it now. Hold on. All right, so I had to resize my screen so you can actually see it. So for those who are asking me how I do that, here is my streaming system that is running vMix right now. This is what it's doing. All right. So you see over to the right, vMix Social is pulling in the chat comments from YouTube. That's the only one I have on. And then it's outputting that into a title screen, similar to what I'm just bringing up right now. And that's how I'm doing that. And that comes natively on any version of vMix that you get. Let's see. Robert was saying, in his question here to the matrix distribution stuff was, we're using a Blackbird HDMI matrix system. Okay, I've heard of those. So it's just pretty much just a splitter. That's really all it is. It might have some extra parts in there to make sure it keeps it, because some splitters are kind of cheap and then the signal degrades. I don't know, it's been a while, they don't have to do it anymore, but like if you go to a Target or something like that where they have the same image repeated over and over again, the signal degrades every time you split it. So maybe some of these have some components in there to help with that. I don't know. Lau, what is going on? Thanks for stopping by. Okay, I already answered the question. I got the same question popping up a couple of times. It is vMix Social for all the chat. All right, Mike here. You said SDI is best for long runs from HDMI. What are your thoughts on the Ethernet-based extenders going to put in soon, but wondering if I'm asking for trouble? No, they work fine. I've used those as well too. Most of them, you have to dial them in. But again, most of those can only go up to maybe 164 feet. If it's anything less than that, that's fine. I've used them multiple times as well. And in this other project, this is what I'm getting ready to do as well too. Just know the limits of what the range is in the device. Also, I always use Cat 6. I don't use Cat 5e. That can also change the bandwidth and resolution that's supported. But no, they work perfectly fine. I know I've used a bunch of Auras and a bunch of other brand ones that were like $40, and they're rock solid. I mean, some of the other churches I've done years ago, they're still in place and work great. Robert is saying the biggest challenge is getting lyrics over video. Okay, so if you have a matrix, that I don't know about the model, but most matrix just, like we have a matrix at our church originally. It was a 4x8. So it accepts 4 different inputs, but it can output to 8 different locations, and it can mix and match. So you can have input number 1 go to 2 monitors, input number 2 go to 1 monitor, all this other stuff like that. The Blackmagic Smart Video Hub does something like that as well too, on a bigger, smarter scale. Now, most of those, I haven't messed with every single one of them. Some of them don't have the intelligence to do kind of like chroma keying and layering on top of each other and stuff like that. That's normally done inside your switcher. So from your matrix, if you do that mix in your switcher, like with an ATEM or a Roland or something like that that supports it, or even with OBS, and you're having the output pushed out to your matrix, then let all that be done in your switcher or your streaming program or whatever like that. And then the matrix is just a funnel. It just splits it. So I need a little bit more info to see about that. Lau is reading my mind. Would you recommend using the Elgato Camlink Pro that Elgato created? I actually just ordered one for an install system that I'm building for a church. I actually ordered it about 3 hours ago. So I'm going to do an in-depth in it while on that product and see what it can do before I put it in the system, because this one ministry specifically asked for that. So, hey, it gives me an opportunity to do a review. So be on the lookout for that. Evan was saying, I'd love to be a part of your interview series. Hey, you never know. You just got to send me an email and we'll see what we can do. Okay, back to Lanny that was asking. I think it was electrical. You reset it and kill the power to the CPU, then reboot it and remote it in, or is it a network switch that does that? No, that is, well, it's a combination. It is a TP-Link smart switch that I have control over my stuff at the church, and the system, the computer is built in the BIOS to support if you lose power. When power is restored, what does the system do? I have it set in the BIOS to always turn back on. So that's how I just have it plugged into a switch, kill it, and then I'm able to turn it back on. All of that was done through TP-Link. That's what controlled the electrical, so I can turn off and on. The BIOS on the computer had to be set, and then I used Chrome Remote Desktop to log into the computer. So those are the combination of the things that I used. Otis, let's see what's going on. My teammate has expanded her event-based business from what she has learned from the media ministry to doing remote e-conferencing. Hey, see, that's why I try, and for those who are looking for recruitment strategies to getting other people, YouTube, what I'm doing right now, Formation Sports, all of that was birthed out of the media ministry, and that speaks volumes for when you're trying to get other people, especially young folks that are interested in this stuff. They can see, wait a minute, he's using the same skills that I'm watching that I'm doing in church. You can use here. Like, we had a couple of people that when sports didn't go the way they wanted to when they went to college, they took the skills that they have and went into mass communications. And when they got into that class, they're like, man, that's what we were doing at church for years. And it was kind of an aha moment. So, yeah, I mean, what the skills that you learn in media ministry can expand out into so much other stuff. Like, honestly, if you're talking about wanting to do business, and I'll tell you another part of what I do. When I was getting started, all the video editing that I was doing, I listed myself on Fiverr, and I offered my services to do video editing for other people. Small projects, big projects, stuff like that. You can jump into that. Voiceover artists, for all the me talking with this voice and doing church announcements, you can do that on Fiverr and other stuff, just to do voiceover artists for commercials, other stuff. I mean, there's so many skills that you can learn in media ministry that can expand out, that can be a full-time income, part-time income if you really wanted to, or another business like other people, like Otis is saying right here. Josh, for the interest meeting, we will need to stay in the waiting room, or are we allowed to come in early? I'm going to set it to where everybody's going to come in early. I need to go back and look at it. So everybody's welcome to come in. Then, sorry if I pronounce your name wrong. Anyone tried to send MIDI from ProPresenter to Companion? The buttons trigger presets between PTZ optics cameras and which camera goes live. No, I have not. Actually, they did an update similar to that for the Rodecaster, to where you can use these the sound pad to do this similar things. But no, I have not tried that yet. Creative for fun. I can't see the browser button in my OBS sources. Any reason for this? Is there something I can do to make it reappear? Your browser button. Browser button. I'm not 100% sure. If you're missing something, you always can go and reset the docs and see if reset the whole layout of everything. So if I cut over here to my OBS, which is the power of having two USB outs, you can always come over here and go to View, Docs, and then reset the UI, and that will hopefully reset it. Try that and see if that helps get your stuff back of what you're missing. Let's see. How I wanted to know, how did I get started helping churches? Well, I'm a preacher's kid, so I've always been in church. And the way we were raised is we had to do everything. We need to know how to do everything, because there are times that my sisters sing, I play, my mom sings, my dad plays. There were times where we had to run everything. We were ushers, junior deacons. We ran every single thing. So innately for me, sitting in a pew is unnatural to me. I can't sit in a church and not be in some type of service mode just because that's how I've always been raised. It is like fingernails on a chalkboard. If I have to sit at a church and I'm not playing or I'm not doing something, it's just in me to always do something like that. So me migrating over and using the skills that I have with another church, that's whether it be technology, music, media, whatever, it's just been natural. So, I mean, I've been doing it ever since. So that's how I got started. Just was born into the family. Let's see. Mike, the Elgato is the same price as the Mini, but it has some nice features like the multi-view. Well, actually, no, the Elgato is about $100 more. The A10 Mini is $295. So, I don't know how the conversion rate in Canada, what that's going for, but down here, the A10 Mini without multi-view is $295. The one with multi-view and live streaming is $595. Now, it's a good thing, but I mean, you realize you still need to have a computer that can handle it. So that's always going to jump the price up more than that. But we shall see how all that works. Let me close OBS over here. KCMI 89. Is vMix Social included with the basic HD plan? I don't use vMix often for the limited overlay, but I do like the comments. Yes, it is included. Yes, it is. Josh, that one is new to me. So if y'all did not know, I have been invited to teach at Worship Summit, which it is a big honor, and I am super thankful for that. So that is going to be on May 20th and 21st. So really, really excited about that. So if we scroll down here, there's your boy right there. Really, really excited. They're going to be talking a lot about technical stuff. One of the topics I was asked to speak on is simplified live streaming setups. So we're going to talk about the basics of, hey, how do you just have a camera phone and a tripod and go all the way up to a multi-camera install with ATEMs and all this other stuff. So really thankful for an opportunity like this. To go from just doing YouTube videos to document the training for your media ministry to meeting so many wonderful people and having these opportunities. I mean, I thank God for it every single day. Give him all the praise, honor, and glory for it, because all of this is done to help prepare y'all. So really appreciate it. We're Better Together, great name, wants to know, can an A10 Mini Pro control iris and focus controls using bidirectional HD SDI converters? No, it cannot, to the best of my ability. Right now, we're using a Pocket Cinema camera, and it can send the controls over HDMI. And let me take that back. It should. It really should. Honestly, I haven't been in a position to test that because I don't have a camera that natively has SDI on it, so I don't know if the commands are sent only through HDMI or are they converted, because technically, if you had an SDI camera, a Blackmagic SDI camera, and have it connected to the ATEM Television Studio HD, supposedly you're supposed to be able to control that as well too. That's a good question. I really don't know on that one. And I'm not at the not yet. I'm not at the Epox Voss where he's using a Ursa Mini for his webcam, his live streaming camera. That's a beast. Those are around $6,000 each, and that's just the unit, not the lens. But yeah, we'll get to that day where we can test that out. But yeah. Creative for fun. Amen to having to do everything. Preacher's kid here too. Hey, we understand what it takes, all the responsibilities we got to do. Joe, we helped them out. They're actually got a system in place now that we sent out to them. Hey, AJ, so what is the best way to use the A10 Mini with Zoom OBS Studio? Well, what do you mean by that? I mean, you can do a bunch of ways. I actually have a video in the planning where we're talking about send OBS to the ATEM instead of the ATEM into OBS. It all depends. I mean, it's limited by your creativity. The simplest way is kind of like how I'm using right now. We just have the ATEM being just a glorified capture card into OBS, and then you can manipulate it and do it a whole bunch of different ways with that. So need a little bit more specifics on what direction you want to go with that. Josh, also, what did you search to get the picture for the Thor meme? Honestly, I searched for Thor smiling. That's the one that I did. Monty, what's going on with you? Thank you so much. I've actually shouted you out a bunch of times and pushed everybody towards your video for the on and off switch adapters that you talked about for the ATEMs. Thank you so much, brother. A lot of people are excited about that. Back to Josh. Oh, Josh is announcing everything where I'm talking at 12:55 Eastern. Hey, that's new. I didn't even know I was talking at that time, but thank you. Thank y'all so much for everybody who's going to the worship summit. I really appreciate it too, and especially those who voted to ask me to be there. Thank you so much for that. Well, too, very, very honored. Back to we're better together. I'm using a 3G out of my Pocket Cinema Camera 4K. Man, it's been a while. Does this have? No, I didn't think I had SDI out on this. Hold on. I'm going to turn this for a second. Nah, unless I'm missing something. You said you're using the 3G out of the Pocket Cinema Camera. I don't have SDI out on here. Unless I'm missing something. I thought it was on the HDMI out. So I don't know. Sorry. I was looking on the side where the cables are. Yeah, and another thing, talking about vMix, there's so many other functions in vMix I'm not using. Now, again, I don't have the 4K version. If I did, that version will allow you to control the PTZ cameras natively inside of vMix, so you can set up your position. And that's what we talked about in the video where you can use OBS as your switcher. You can use vMix the same way, because at that level, you can control everything and you can have your different scenes. You can have one camera that adjusts to this position and all that other fun stuff in vMix. Actually, I have another concept video that I need to put together of I think 5 or 10 tips that I would recommend for like media ministry production. And this is a way of me talking to my folks as well too about this. And I'll just give one tip right now. If you have, no matter what you do, please do not show the camera moving when you're in your stream. That is just like what I was doing right here. That's why I was apologizing for that, because that's annoying. And again, I understand everybody doesn't have multiple cameras, but if you're trying to adjust, always go to something else so that you can hide the motion of what you're adjusting to and then come back to your shot. Please. That's just one of my suggestions. Because think about it. When you watch, well, I'm not going to ruin it, so don't ruin it right now, but I've already seen it. When you watch The Falcon and Winter Soldier, or you watch any of these movies and stuff like that, do you see them zooming in and out and stuff like that for their main camera? No, you don't. You see it on a specific purpose for why they're doing it. So just be mindful of that. Just my opinion on that. I mean, I haven't seen nobody else do it that way, but that's just me. Willis here. I'm trying to bring Zoom running on a separate laptop into the stream. I'm using a cheap capture card as a source in OBS, but the latency is high. Is there another program you can recommend? Yeah, try just NDI. Try and download just the NDI toolkit, run Scan Converter on your laptop with Zoom, and then that output will show as a source on your streaming system. See what that is. You can send video and audio that way. Try that out first and see how that performs for you. It was saying, any idea why Facebook will split a live streaming service? What do you mean by split? Did it like chop the video in half to where it's two videos? Or I need a little bit more detail about that. Let's see. Star Classic 71. If you do not have a joystick, what is the best way to control the iris on a PTZ optics camera? The web interface, if you can. That's the easiest way, me personally, I would think. Wants to know, do you have any tutorials for Pro Presenter 7 using the A10 Mini? Not specifically. I haven't. If you want anything specifically, let me know and I'll create something. But outside of just the basics of doing lower thirds and stuff like that, that's the only thing I've done, because there's a bunch of other channels that go over that. But if you want me to specifically talk about certain things, let me know and I will make something for that. Josh wants to know, how is the next episode of Ministry Live Stream Reviews going? Honestly, I was thinking about doing it. I was thinking about doing it tomorrow. I got a lot of stuff I got to do. I got to do the virtual choir. I have to do the reviews. Honestly, it depends. I might do the reviews. Yeah, I think I might do that live or record it. I don't know. I wanted to do it this week, but time got away from me. I've had a bunch of on-sites that took out a lot more time than I thought. And by the time I get home, I got to turn around and pick my daughter up. And this week I'm playing. So I had choir rehearsal. And so, yeah, I want to get to it next week, hopefully. How is there any way to use Companion with Presenter Worship Extreme? Sadly, no. There is no innate direct way to do that unless there's key shortcuts that you can use. But when you're using Companion, normally you have to have that. If you're sending keyboard commands, they are universal. They can work on any program. So that's why you normally have to have that program in focus, the most higher up program that's running on your computer. So that way when you press a button, it sends it to that one instead of something else. OBS gets around that because it's talking directly to the app and the SDK, the software development kit, or the API, the application program interface, to go directly into it. The most I've seen from Worship Extreme, you don't have access to do something like that. So unfortunately, at this time, no, it doesn't have that. Joe. So before we got the system you sent us, we were doing Zoom on a laptop and live streaming to Facebook. Now that we have all these new toys to play with, I want to make sure I'm doing it in the best way. Okay, well, now let me give you a breakdown of what Joe got. They have an A10 Mini, they have 4 cameras, and then I provided them with a streaming system to handle that. Now, because of the A10 Mini, you can do multiple things. When you're using the A10 Mini, it shows up just like a webcam. So only one program can use the video at a time. So OBS will be seeing the video. But the USB that handles the audio can go to multiple programs at the same time. That's how, with the A10 Mini, all the loops and the jumps with the VB audio cable, you can avoid. So you can send the audio into OBS for your live stream, but then you can also send that audio into another program like the free conference call to capture audio. You can do multiple things at the same time. So that's something else. And it all depends, Joe. I mean, what you could do is you can send everything to OBS, then turn on virtual camera, and then in Zoom, you could be live streaming to Facebook or whatever, and then use the virtual camera from OBS to send that to Zoom, and then in your audio, select the Blackmagic audio, and now Zoom will still see better production from OBS, what you have, but then you can go to live streaming to wherever at the same time. So that gives you some other options. With both of those happening, you can still also add free conference call to people just dialing. And that See, that's confirmation I need to do this. I actually was going to think about another video called OBS on steroids, just showing, have one install of OBS and how, kind of like what I did with the Extreme, how many places you can live stream. I want to have OBS set up and how much can one instance of OBS handle before it just bombs out and crashes. I think that would be kind of interesting. Let's see what else we got here. We got some other people saying, Mike was saying the same thing. Yes, no camera moving. Amen. It seems like some people understand that as well. Back to We're Better Together. I'm using the Blackmagic bidirectional converter HDMI to SDI in the Blackmagic Video Assist. Okay, now I do have that bidirectional. I got one of those. I need to test that out and see. I really don't know how that would work. And I honestly was looking at getting one of those video assists. I was telling myself not to buy it because I technically don't have a reason for it. And I don't want to invent a reason why I need to buy one, but we shall see. Actually, I need to pay off some stuff, be responsible. I need to adult for a little bit, and then maybe I can do something like that. All right, Joe was also saying he wants to connect that second monitor. So what you need, Joe, in your setup, all right, so what you need is something like this. This will convert the DVI plug-in into another HDMI. That'll be the easiest, or you get a monitor that supports DVI. But I know the monitors that you have. Get one of these, DVI to HDMI, or you can just get a cable that actually is one piece from Amazon to do the same thing, and then you can use another monitor for that. Excuse me. And then, Joe, we also got him, I donated to them, well, they bought it from me, the old mixer I used to have, the Yamaha. And I still have to get that Yamaha mixer in there somehow, and that second monitor connected. Yeah, so it's the second monitor, get this adapter, and then you can just use a regular HDMI connected. And then for your mixer you can connect into the A10 Mini directly or USB out into the streaming PC and marry them together, kind of like what I'm doing right now. So you're in good hands, man. You're in good hands. Aaron, my church does zooms in and pans and tilts during service with 5 different cameras. I agree the camera should not be moving all wild and prefer a soft, steady zoom, not a wild, shaky zoom. Exactly. That's the issue that we're working with ever since now that we have the PTZ cameras that are just automated, that jump to preset positions. I have to tell people, no, nobody needs to see that. Yes, it moves fast, but now the fact that it moves so fast, that makes it even worse because it's just zip, 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 and it's all over the place. No, we don't need to see that. But that's why I still use a static shot, just a wide shot, cut over to that, move the camera, and then, fade back into that. I still don't like cuts, to be quite honest. That's just me, but that's just my preference. So Sam here is recommending for Willis to check out Minicam Studio. It's so versatile and covers 2 machines. See, that's how we're better together. We all work. And we have somebody in here called Better Together, but that's a true statement. So this is what we do on the Facebook group. This is why I always recommend, if you haven't joined that, make sure you have. And while we take that little break, make sure that you go ahead and hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. That way, and also have the bell notification. That way you get notified when we come out with other videos. So I don't have any pictures of anybody sent to me, but we do have Josh's memes of the week. So let me get that prepped up, and then we can do that. All right, so what do we got? What did Josh send me today? So let's go to our first one here. Yeah, isn't that always the thing right there to do something like that? All right, what's our next one here? We got another one here. Corporate needs you to find the differences between these two pictures and this picture. All right, and then the last one we got here, that's a classic. Hey, honestly, we started with that. Well, before I was a part of the media ministry, they started with a camera like that, which was, I think it's still upstairs somewhere. But thank you there, Josh, for those. He actually has it on the Facebook group, so if you have memes, you can submit them, and then they show up here on Fridays when we do some more stuff like this. Let's see what else we got. Josh wants to know, speaking of, can you make a video on live background design for lyrics? I can. Just need to get a better understanding of what you need, but yes, we can work on that. Let's jump back over here. Another question here. We stream the live service to Caster and YouTube. Stream fine, but Facebook split into 2 or 3 streams. That sounds like either it lost the connection and it reestablished it. Make sure in Facebook you have it set to not end your stream when a connection is over. So maybe it dipped for a second, and then because of Caster or whatever source that you're using, it sends the command again to stream to it for the multicast. It makes it seem like it's another video. That could be it. That's what I'm thinking. I do that sometimes. I had to make that change when we were doing football games where we would lose a connection and then it would reestablish it. It made it like it was something completely different until I turned that setting off to say, don't drop the connection at all. Just let it go until I say the event is over. So if you drop a connection, you're just going to have dead air until it reestablishes the connection. Steven here. Thanks for doing these Q&As. Hey, you're welcome. Can you control multiple PTZ cameras over IP with a controller that doesn't have IP? No, you cannot. Because that's the linkage. That's the cable to go to it. Is using the network to do that. So unfortunately, no, you cannot. To my knowledge, if anybody else knows of that, please let me know. But that's the only way I know of. Let's see. Carl, with Companion, you can install REFERRAL hotkey on the other computer to send scripts, keystrokes, etc. It's pretty cool. That's cool. Now, I used to use another macro way before this when I was doing a photo booth back in the day at my church when we would rent that out, and I had something similar that could send something over the network, but I might have to check into that. Thank you for that. All right, I think this is similar to what was talked about in our Facebook group. Windows did an update that kind of messed a lot of people up. Does anyone know how to stop Windows since the 20H update from using the graphics card for its stuff? It deprives stuff that should run on the GPU. I don't know directly how to do that. It has messed up a whole lot of things. Like me personally, what I do in this, Chrome does the same thing, as well as Edge and other browsers. You have to go into advanced and turn that stuff off. Let me show you real quick. Let's cut over here. All right, so we're going to go up here to our settings. We're going to go to advanced and then system. And I always turn this off. Use hardware acceleration if available. This will push your GPU to help with your browser. And yeah, in theory, that helps. But when you're doing stuff like what we're doing, it degrades what you're doing. I learned that the hard way because I was like, wait a minute, I know my computer at church is more than powerful enough to handle the live stream. And I normally have one browser up just to verify when stuff is going out. And then once I turned that off, everything was working perfectly fine. So it's almost like this browser, when it's using the GPU, it's not like as optimized as it should. So I don't know. At least that's how I know how to do it with the browser. Since the update, I don't know where directly it is, but when I find that out, I will let y'all know when I find it. Created for fun. We run YouTube on our OBS and GoToMeeting on our presenter computer. Unfortunately, we don't have multiple cameras set up yet. Have to zoom in and out. Now, it's nothing the matter with doing that. Just like we were saying, just don't do it fast. I mean, if I'm doing all this other stuff, and I almost knocked my tripod over. You do stuff like that, that's annoying. Be graceful when you're doing it. Like when my pastor moves back and forth, yeah, I have to follow him like that. I'm just not doing jerky movements and zooming in super crazy fast and out. That's the part that we're talking about. Josh was saying that personally he likes StreamYard and Melon app both, except they make the audio sound bad when music is playing. Any way to avoid this? I don't know. I really don't know. Let's see. Can we pull up Melon app while I'm on here? Let's try that. So if we go in here, go into Melon app. All right, and let's see. I don't want to show too much. I would first say make sure you have echo cancellation off and adjust mic volume, have that off. That's the first thing I would think. Outside of the settings, that's the only thing it looks like. That's what I've seen that caused a lot of audio issues, and I think StreamYard is the exact same way. That's the first thing I would think. Robert here. OBS can recognize global shortcuts. I use them all the time while using other software up front, triggered by a Stream Deck. Just make sure the shortcuts are obscure and don't interfere with other programs. Yeah, that OBS is different. That will work because it innately has it. But just like you said, if you put like the Windows key and the letter P as one of your shortcuts, that's not going to work because another program, it's like who's going to get that command, who gets it first. And that's why it has to be in focus. So that's why, like you said, I do some obscure stuff like, the tilde key in one or something that you would never combine together. Yeah, don't do Control Shift Escape either. That's a command. You don't want to do that. Let me see. I got avocados. So better together. Yeah, that's exactly the reason why I do that. I would think it would work. Again, I just haven't been in a position to have to test that out. So what I'll do is I have a cable that feeds this monitor right here. I actually converted from HDMI to SDI back to HDMI for that. I might play around with that and let you know. Like I said, that was an interesting question. I've never really tried that. Let me see. Otis, can you stream to 3 destinations in vMix and use the external output to Zoom? I don't know. I would think you could. I might want to play around with that. Just like we did the ATEM to the extreme and we're talking about the OBS. Maybe we'll try that with vMix as well too. And better together, that was the reason why I wanted to buy this. Because my Lenovo laptop, when I tried to live stream and record a football game at the same time, it was too much for the system and it crashed. So I wanted this as an external backup. That's the reason I kept telling myself I wanted it. But I ended up buying a laptop instead because we have multiple teams. So I'm expanding the setup for each team that's recording the games. So I ended up buying another laptop instead. But that is the reasoning why I want to do that. I always want to have so much redundancy when we're doing stuff. Alrighty, I am trying to use a Mac Mini to run ProPresenter 6 all through the Blackmagic switcher. The Mac Mini won't recognize the projector's output to show my presenter why. If you are which Blackmagic switcher are you using? If you're using the ATEM like Television Studio, the output has to have an exact match of the resolution. If you're using the ATEM Mini, it should just happen. In ProPresenter 6, make sure you also have it configured for the display that you want to push it out to. So I think I still have ProPresenter on the system. So give me a second to bring that up. And Draw IO won't let me close. All right, and of course, ProPresenter goes onto the wrong screen. Let's move it over here. Super source. All right, so inside of ProPresenter, what you got to do is, and this is 7, but it's the same thing with 6. You need to go up to Preferences, go to your screens, go to Screen Configuration. Nothing will work until you match this to anything. So like right now, mine says it's disconnected. I actually have to pick which monitor that I want it to go to. So I'll say this far right one here. Reassign to new, and then I have my stage display. I'll just say this is this one, something like that, and then now my stuff will work. So if I need to bring my Thupathorth over here. Where is it at? All right, it's right there. So now if I decide to bring something up, and I have, why are my words not showing? Of course, we will want to. Come on now. I don't know why. Now, I haven't had this open in a minute. Why is this not? Oh, now it's showing. All right, so now if I got this, if I turn my monitor on, I need to move my control so I can switch this so y'all can see. I'm going to change this to PC output number 2. And if I bring it up now, so now that's how you can see it. You have to set that inside of ProPresenter. If you have that set, and let's cut back over to the monitor here so y'all can see it again. We need to make sure, depending on which switcher that you're using, if you're using one of the rack-mounted ones, they have to have, especially the Television Studio HD, you need to make sure that this resolution matches exactly what is supported. That's the resolution and the frame rate. That's what I have to do at mine. Now, at my church, mine was an issue, so that I didn't want to have to go through that every time. That's when I put a up-down cross converter that's always set to the right resolution that our ATEM supports, so I can push anything to it, and that box will change it to the resolution. So that's what I can just think off the top of my head. If it's something outside of that, I don't know. Have to look into that further for that. Let me close Draw IO so I can get back to my desktop. Is there a Mac software alternative for the HyperDeck Mini? I'm not aware of one. I know there's a bunch have told me about there's a program that you can do to convert a Raspberry Pi, but no, I am not aware of any off the top of my head. So Aaron, talking about our cuts, he does both cuts and fades depending on the song. Fast songs like a praise break gets cuts, slow songs fade. I agree with that. And that's the production that you get into when you actually can see beyond that to understand which one matches. Hey, it works great when you actually have it. But if you're talking about, like, I've had people who, when we are doing a fast song, they're cutting and they're cutting over to the person that sings and cuts back over to the choir. After a point, that becomes annoying because it's too much. I don't know. I mean, because if I'm doing this and then this and going back and this, sooner or later, this gets annoying. That's just me. But yes, All of these tools work in the appropriate time. Or if you're designing it and you have the mindset of what you're going to do, then yeah, it works. It's another thing when people are just doing whatever. Oh, Josh was saying I blocked something. Was my picture up and blocked it or the comments? Sorry, let me know which one it is and I'll bring it back up. So I think we're caught up so far. I don't see anything new here. Oh, now we're seeing it. Some other comments are popping up now. I don't know why this is so delayed. All right, so let's see where we're at. All right, back to the ATEM. It was saying that the Thunderbolt output doesn't recognize the HDMI signal to that. Play around with your resolution. If that doesn't work, then it might be something else. That's the first thing that I would notice from that. Rodney here. Restream and StreamYard provides RTMP to put into OBS. Trying to stream same feed into website. Any way I can stream same feed into website without embedding third-party code into a site. It wouldn't have to be well, see, the issue with that is if you try to stream, I mean, you're getting to the point where you're being your own YouTube. Because if you were streaming directly to your website, you wouldn't want to do that. Because again, I don't know how much you're paying for your stuff, but most of the time you start getting into that's considered like content delivery, and they start charging you. Your bandwidth is different for that. And if you have a bandwidth cap for how much you're hosting for your website provides you monthly, you're going to tank that very fast. I mean, the nerd part of me is like, hey, most of these sites, you put in a RTMP or you put in some type of Nginx server in the background, and yeah, you can run and stream directly to the website. I mean, that's very easy to do, and you don't need any of that other stuff. And you can bypass everything, and you're streaming directly from OBS to your server, which, again, is very simple to do. It's just that logistically and from a data cap wise, are they going to support that? Because, yeah, it's one thing for you to be on it. But now, because you're streaming to it, then it is streaming that same data back to everybody else that's watching. And that goes up by multiples of when you have more people watching it. So off the top of my head, I don't know on that one. Yeah, that one I don't know. Sorry about that. I might have missed something. Did I miss a comment? Just seeing some people's responses. Oh, they're talking to each other. Yeah, they weren't talking to me. Chuck Taylor, what is going on, sir? Hey, thank you for that comment. Chuck left a very nice comment on our Facebook group. Really appreciate that. Thank you, sir. Did you get your package today? That's my question to you. Let's see. What else we got going on? Because YouTube's comments come up way faster than it does when here in VMix Social. So I'm waiting for it to update. Sam wants to know, where do you tell YouTube not to stop streaming if it's a hitch? Let me see. Can I show y'all this? All right, I'm going to show y'all what I'm actually looking at right now. All right, so inside of here, I can't do it right now, but right here, you have to turn off enable auto stop. If I had this on, if my signal stopped, it would end the live stream. So that's where you want to do it. It's inside of the streaming setup in YouTube. And Facebook has something similar. where you need to make that change. Make sure that box is not checked off. And there's also another one that says enable auto start. I do have that one on. That way, when I start streaming, I don't have to come back in here and hit go live. Josh was saying photo booth. Tell me more. Yeah, it was our presentation system originally was a small portable system to where we bought software to where we can hook up a webcam and do a photo booth. I have a vlog I did a long time ago where we did that, where the media ministry would allow you can rent out a photo booth when we had different events at the church. And I would take that system down, hook it up to a webcam, and hook it up to a TV and put it inside of like a booth, and people can go and do photo booths and stuff like that. It was like $60 for the app. And it just turned any computer with a webcam into it. And I actually had a little printer that printed out the same type of layout and everything. It was really cool. We haven't had a chance to use it, obviously, in a while, but it's really cool. We used to have fairs and gatherings and stuff like that, events at the church, and it would always be a booth that people can go in. I put up screens and everything to block off everything. It was really cool. Joe was saying, did I understand you say that you can get just audio feed from OBS? No, not directly, and kind of, you can. What you would do is put the VB audio cable as your monitoring out, and then you can capture the audio that way. I was saying that if you had an ATEM, you can link the audio component from the ATEM into OBS in multiple applications at the same time. But yes, you can do that in OBS. But again, you need to know where you're sending it to. So if we come back over here, so we would come in here to our settings, and in your audio, you have your monitor out. Normally, this is by default. If you had a VB audio cable out, that would be an option here. So it would always send the audio out. So you would come in here, and I don't have it on here. I don't want to echo. I don't know why. Oh, because I'm in a completely different system. You should be getting some type of audio from here. Stream, custom audio. It's there. How come not? Oh, there it is. So you would send this, and I would come out here and say monitor on. You would output this, and by doing that, we would be sending the audio to the audio cable, and then you can send it out to whatever. That's how that would work, which is similar to what we did in other videos, but the whole principle of a lot of stuff that we do, it sounds like a MacGyver stuff, but it really is. It's like you understand a principle in how one of the applications works, the ATEM or whatever, and then you just build it on top of other stuff. So we know the foundation is, oh, I can output the audio. Okay, if I can output the audio to my speakers, I can output it to a different source. Now, let me take another application that's looking for audio input and just pick that new source. And that's how you're building on top of this stuff, and how we Jimmy rig all this stuff together. Jerry rig, Jimmy rig. I call it both, so it doesn't matter. I was digging through my my drawer of gadgets over here. Got tons of stuff everywhere. Joe, last question. Does the ATEM have a power off, or do you just unplug it? No, there is no off. I just unplug it. But like I was saying, Monty actually has a video that talks about an adapter that you can get to put your on and off button on there. And let me find him real quick, and I will give him a shout out. There he goes. So let me bring that up here so y'all can see what I'm talking about. And I will put the link in the description as well too. And this is the video where he's talking about that, where he talks about adding on and off button there. So check him out. He has a link there on how you need to do that. if you want the on and off button. Me personally, I have mine into a TP link switch, and I tell it to turn off, and that's how I do it. But you can just add this simple little switch in there, and then there you go. So I'm going to put his video because he already has a link to it, so he gets the credit for that. So thank you so much. Got another question here. The best solution for the ATEM Mini Pro ISO to be able to live stream and record in Mini ATEM, and also for USB-C slot to become a webcam. You can't do that. The ATEM Mini Pro ISO can't do that. That's the reason why they made the Extreme. If you're using the USB out for webcam, the USB can only go in one direction. If you have out for recording, it only works that way. You can't put like a recorder or a hub on it to record and then also send that to a computer. I've tried that a couple of times. It does not work. I'll try it again just in case. Actually, can I do it now? Yeah, I think I can do it now. Hopefully I don't get disconnected. So let's see. All right, so here we have a USB-C hub that has HDMI out. This will not work with the ATEM, but we have 2 memory card slots, and then we have USB. That's what I meant. So, and then we have a Type A cable, so both ends. So can we plug this in, and then I plug it into my computer? Will it show up as a device? I've tried this multiple times. It does not work, but hey, we're going to try it now for everyone who is asking. So let me close this. I need to get my computer up so y'all can see what I'm seeing. All right, so let me unplug this computer that has the other USB going to that. So give me a second. All right, that's unplugged. Now I'm gonna plug this in. All right, so the USB hub is plugged into the ATEM. Now let me bring up my ATEM software, and it got disconnected because it's not over USB. Why is it not showing up now? See, I'm not getting nothing. I should be able to connect to this over the network. Ugh. That stinks. Oh well. I'm trying to think how I can so y'all can see my output here. All right, so but I can't change the setting here. Oh, yeah, I can. All right, so I'm gonna switch over here onto vMix so y'all can see what I'm talking about. All right, so there's my multi-view, and it's flipped for my screen so I can see. This is too much. Y'all can't see from here. Anyway, the main thing is I have this hub. If I connect this to my computer, do we get anything? And this is my proof that if I plug this in, the ATEM software should work in theory, but like I said, it does not work. Yeah, so I'm having a hub out that would go to a S card. See, it's not picking it up. So hooking up a hub for recording will work. If I put my memory cards inside that adapter, it will work as an option to record. So that's what I'm going to do just to show you. Where's my memory card? Where's my super suit? I don't have a memory card in front of me. I think y'all got me stumped on this one. Yeah, I can't show it. I'm gonna have to do this in the video. I mean, I did this in the video, but I wanted to show this live because I know I've had a bunch of people ask me this, and it just does not work with that hub like that. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to come back and do that in another video. Let me disconnect and get my stuff back the way it was. All right, so if we cut back over here, I should be able to get back to my ATEM. Why are you acting up? You're acting up on me, ATEM. Maybe I'm doing too much at the same time. I don't know. Well, that was exciting. Let's go back over here to Sean. All right. I remember seeing in a video of a media ministry workshop that if you use a moving shot, the shot should be moving the entire time. Also worth mentioning that all cameras in this ministry were manned. Okay. Cool. I mean, yeah, it's just one of those things that we're learning and trying to develop this. Why is that camera? Now my ATEM software is not working at all. That's frustrating. All right, so I got something I got to do once we get off of this. I don't know why. It should just, I mean, I'm on the network and I'm on this, so I don't know why that's not working. Yeah, that's really strange. And all of a sudden now my camera just shut down. Awesome. So I don't know if y'all can still hear me or not. Are y'all still there? Can y'all still hear me? All right, I don't know. Hey, don't do that. I guess I can't do that live because my stuff just got disconnected. On my side, it was showing, but my ATEM software is not picking up anything. vMix was frozen and wasn't detecting the ATEM, so maybe I'm trying too much at the same time. And my network stuff is not showing up on here. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I just can't disconnect that at the same time. So that part, I'm going to have to come back to that. Because right now, I can only control the ATEM now directly over the buttons. My ATEM software is not picking up my ATEM at all. So I don't know what's up with that. Oh, well. Let's see where we left off here. Is that page 3? All right. Back to the Chuck here. Getting a fluid head tripod can help with smoother movements. More expensive, yes, but it makes production look better. Yeah, that's what I have here. I have all fluid heads here because of the motion that I'm doing. But yes, I completely agree. right, so we got a lot of people answering each other's questions. Thank you, Lyle. Thanks for joining us. Let's see what else, where we're left off at. Now, I think I did, unless you answered a different question, I thought I did answer yours, but let me know what it is again. I got like 10 pages I got to go through to get back to your question, but send me that. No, we're not stopping. It just, my camera on my side, the ATEM stopped, so I just couldn't see anything. So, I mean, we're still good to go. Yeah, everything got reversed because the output that I just showed you is what goes to my teleprompter, which is on a mirror. So I had to flip the image so that when it flips on the mirror, it shows correctly to me. That's why it's in reverse when it's coming on there. That's my Intensity Pro that's taking the HDMI out from the ATEM Mini Extreme, and that's what I'm looking at right here, so that I can see over top of what's going on. Another question we got here. If you have a pastor who has to get his miles of walking in, it moves motion, gives you motion sickness. Better to zoom out a bit more and move the camera less. Correct. Very much correct. Fire away with your question whenever you get it. I don't see it on here yet. It hasn't updated. Oh, man. All right, so how do I sync the audio with two cameras set up in OBS mixer to interface, then to the iMac? That was the question. And honestly, if you're bringing it in that way, it should sync. If it's not syncing, it's because, honestly, I think it's because the system is having an issue. What's the system that's running OBS? What are the specs of that system? But let me know. Robert was saying here, we are starting to use rubber bands for our fluid head tripod for smoother moves, budget techniques. Hey, that's what I'm talking about. Lau, would you recommend using Presto Player as a Vimeo alternative? I honestly have never heard of them, so I'm gonna have to look into that. All right, so you said you're using the ATEM Mini, so the audio is coming from your mixer into the Mini as well as the camera, and it's out of sync. Let me know about that one. All right, Chuck just got the arm in. Awesome. Chuck, I think I was telling you this. There are dip switches at the top. So if you're using the remote and you want to change the opposite direction, you need to flip those dip switches that are on the arm upside down. Keep them in the same jack that they're in, the connection pins that they are, but flip them upside down to reverse the polarity that's going to the motor. And that's how you can change the direction. But glad it's working for you. All right, I think Otis and some other folks are dropping some stuff, some knowledge for everybody else here. Really appreciate that. Let me see. What else we got going on? Cut over to a different camera angle. How about that? Trying to see. Got a lot of stuff going on this weekend. Okay, let me jump back to this question. He's saying that the sound is connected to the ATEM, but you're getting a buzz. Make sure in the ATEM software, which I can't show you right now because mine is still not coming up for whatever reason, make sure that you have the input set to line and not mic. If you're getting buzz, it might still be set at mic and it's too hot for your line coming in. Check that. What else? Yeah, I think I think that's it. I think I got everything today. Let me jump back over here just to make sure. If you haven't, folks, please make sure that you enter the 50K subscriber giveaway. We're giving away a 20x PTZ optics camera. No controller, but hey, camera is great. Powered over PoE. You can upgrade it to do NDI functionality. Great camera. Great customer support. And thank you so much for PTZ Optics for doing that. Really appreciate that. If I didn't get to your question, please make sure you send me an email at questions@ajhomes.com. Give me 48 to 72 hours to respond to you, and I'll get back to you as soon as I possibly can. Make sure you also get a part of our Facebook group, Modern Media Ministry Made Easy. We have a interest meeting tomorrow for our first missionary volunteer training conference that we're trying to put in place. That's going to be in place before September. It's going to be completely virtual. It's going to be open to anyone and everybody all over the face of the planet. We're going to have a bunch of people who have been in the comments, as well as others who are teachers. So it's not just going to be me. We're going to be sharing the collective wealth of knowledge across media ministries from all over the world to help every ministry move forward. You can sign up for whatever class that you want. All the details of that are coming soon. But if you're interested in that, the information is in that group. That's how you can get in to talk if you want to be, because we're looking for teachers. We're also looking for moderators to run the group, field the questions, record the stream, because every class that you are not able to attend when the conference is over, you'll have access to all of the materials, all of the video of the classes that you didn't attend, and you can always watch it after the fact. That is the goal. But that interest meeting is tomorrow at 11:30 Eastern, and we'll be talking about that. Make sure you like, subscribe, and notify. I need to put one that says share, because share these videos out with other ministries, because we're trying to help as many as possible. Y'all see my other display here. This is what I normally look at here to see what's going on here. What else am I forgetting? Oh, hey, let's make sure. And of course, it turned my audio off. I want to thank the patrons for their support. Thank you so much. You can become a patron for as little as $1 a month. And this is how we help do stuff like this. The fundage that they do, that helps with buying other stuff, and we turn that around and give it to giveaways to other ministries in whichever way that we possibly can. And I think my button got messed up here. When I hit the YouTube members, it turns my audio off. So unfortunately, I can't bring up the YouTube members, but I want to thank y'all as well too. Appreciate you. Whether you go through Patreon or whether you go through a YouTube member, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. You make these videos possible to where we're training other media ministries all over the world. And I just want to say, if, like we normally do at the end, if you or been doing anything for your media ministry for whatever amount of time, I want to specifically tell you thank you. Appreciate your constant study, your constant learning, going to YouTube University, my videos, anybody else's videos, to learn more, to help spread the message throughout the world. That's what it's all about. Hopefully, with the limited stuff that I do know, I'm more than willing to share as much as I can if I can make your journey a little bit easier. That's what it's about. But I want to thank you for just your dedication and even wanting to do this. Thank you for joining me. Really appreciate it. We got a lot of stuff coming down the pipe. But again, thank y'all so much, folks. I hope y'all have a great day, afternoon, evening, whatever day it is, wherever you are. You appreciate it. Love you. Thank you so much. You have a great service. If you have one tomorrow, if you have one today, you got one Sunday. Hey, hope you have a great service. Thank you so much, folks. We will catch y'all later.